Maybe you're past 30 or 40, and you've looked at your life, your relationships, and you've realized that the love society promised you, it feels more like a transaction, a desperate, hollow need. It's exhausting, isn't it, this performance, this constant draining audition to be seen as lovable. You have to be the funny one, or the successful one, or the easygoing, no drama one. You put on the mask every single morning, you play the part, and at the end of the day, you're just tired. You're tired of the act. You're tired of the game. And underneath all that performance, deep down, there's this quiet, nagging feeling that something is fundamentally off. That maybe you're the one who's broken. You feel this gap inside, this emptiness, a kind of loneliness that feels like it's been your shadow for years, even when you're not technically alone. And we've all been taught to believe the same story, that the only way to fill that gap, the only way to fix that broken part, is to find the one. The other half, that's supposed to walk in and finally make you feel whole. Well, I'm here to tell you, as a mate, we've all been sold a fairy tale. This idea that someone else will come along and complete us. What a load of rubbish. It's a fantasy, and it's a dangerous one, because it invalidates the person you already are. It keeps us in this perpetual state of waiting, this holding pattern of not yet enough. It makes us feel perpetually empty, waiting for something or someone that never quite arrives in the way we were promised. It's the ultimate carrot on a stick, and we are running ourselves ragged trying to catch it. Why do we buy into this? Because it's easier than the alternative. It's a comforting story. It's so much easier to believe the problem is out there that you just haven't met the right person yet. The alternative, the harder truth, is looking in here. But the real source of the pain, the real ache, isn't the absence of a person. It's the presence of the need. The needing itself is the wound. But here's the thing you absolutely must hear. This feeling of needing love, it isn't your fault. You weren't born this way. This is a game. It's an illusion. It's a social script that we've all been forced to play, a story we were handed at birth. But why? Why is the entire social script, every movie, every song, every advertisement, built on this fundamental illusion of need? Because it's simple. It's marketable. It's the greatest business model ever invented. Think about it. Society, the economy, it doesn't really want you to be whole. A whole person is terrible for business. A whole person doesn't need to constantly buy things to fill the void. A whole person doesn't need the latest distraction, the next upgrade, the next hit of validation. A whole person is content. And contentment, mate, doesn't move product. So, the script we're given is one of transaction. This is the absolute core of the illusion. We are taught, from the moment we can understand stories, that love is not a state of being. It is an achievement. It is a prize. It is something you get in exchange for something else. If you are beautiful enough, you get love. If you are successful enough, you get love. If you are wealthy, or charming, or funny, or fixed, then you will earn it. This is what I call transactional love. It's a contract, a quiet, unwritten, but brutally clear contract. You agree to fix my deep-seated loneliness, and I'll agree to fix your insecurity about not being successful enough. You be the pretty one, and I'll be the provider. You laugh at my jokes, and I'll validate your intelligence. It's not love, mate, it's a negotiation. And the reason this causes so much pain, the reason you're here, feeling that ache we just talked about, is that this kind of love is built entirely on scarcity, not on wholeness. It's built on two empty cups, desperately trying to drink from each other. And what happens when you're in a negotiation? What happens when you're living inside a contract? You live in a constant, low-grade, humming state of anxiety. You are terrified of breach of contract. You're worried that the moment you stop being the funny one or the successful one, the deal is off. You're afraid they'll find someone who offers a better deal, someone younger, richer, less damaged, less complicated. This is that awful, gripping insecurity Alan Watts talked about. It's the feeling of trying to hold on to water, trying to grasp smoke. The tighter you cling, the faster it disappears. And this is why we are so damn tired. This is why we are perpetually trying to fix ourselves. We fundamentally believe we are unlovable just as we are. We believe we are flawed or broken, and that we have to go through this exhausting, never-ending process of self-improvement just to be worthy of the basic human experience of connection. We are trying to repair ourselves, sand down our rough edges, and become this perfect, polished, marketable product, so that someone will finally choose us. Now, look, is self-improvement bad? No, of course not. Growing is a beautiful part of life. But improving to be loved is a trap. It's a performance. It comes from a place of I am not enough. And you can't perform 24 hours a day. Eventually the mask slips. And the terror that it will slip is what's running you into the ground. We are absolutely exhausting ourselves, running on this hamster wheel, trying to be good enough for this broken imaginary contract. But what if the entire premise is wrong? What if all this effort, all this fixing, all this trying is the very thing blocking the authentic connection you actually crave? What if Alan Watts was right, and the very act of needing love is what pushes it away? It doesn't just push it away, mate. It makes real love impossible. Because needing isn't love. Needing is a demand. Needing is a form of psychic gravity, a black hole, pulling everything and everyone into its void to try and fill itself. And that's where we get it all so fundamentally wrong. Alan Watts had a radically different idea, a genuinely liberating one. He argued that the highest, most authentic form of love is not a need at all. It is an overflow. It's not something you go out and get from someone else, like you're hunting for food because you're starving. It is something that shines out of you spontaneously when you are already whole. It's an excess of your own being. It is a symptom of your own inner peace. This right here is the reframe that changes the entire game. The social script, that broken contract we talked about, tells you that you're an empty cup and your one job in life is to go out and find another person to fill you up. That's the transaction. But what happens in reality? You just get two empty cups clinking together, making a hollow, desperate sound, both demanding that the other one pour something they don't have. It's a recipe for misery. It's a setup for failure. Watts's truth is this: you must fill your own cup. You must fill it to the absolute brim, so full of your own life, your own joy, your own presence, that it can't help but spill over. Real love isn't two empty cups meeting to negotiate a trade. It's two full cups meeting, and the overflow is what they share. The love is the surplus, not the requirement. This is why he was so brilliant with language. We always talk about falling in love. Falling implies an accident, a loss of control, a collapse, a kind of weakness. But when you operate from a place of wholeness, from a full cup, you don't fall in love. You rise in it. You expand into it. It's not a clumsy stumble in the dark. It's a mutual, joyful opening, like a flower to the sun. It doesn't complete you, because you were never incomplete. It amplifies you. Now, this is the exact point where most self-help gurus on the internet just pat you on the back and the video ends. Just go fill your own cup. Just love yourself first. Right? What a load of rubbish. It's abstract. It's a nice catchphrase for a coffee mug. It sounds wonderful. But on a Tuesday night when you're sitting alone and you're feeling that familiar ache of loneliness creep in, what does it actually mean? They never tell you how. They never give you the actual practical, no bullshit tools for filling the damn thing. It's just more positive thinking wallpaper plastered over the same old emptiness. And that, frankly, is useless. It's not a strategy, it's a platitude. And I know you felt this shift. So, before we get to the actual how-to, the practical stuff, let me know in the comments, what was the exact moment you realized that transactional love was an illusion in your own life? Maybe it was a breakup, maybe it was watching a couple, or maybe just a quiet realization one night. I read every story, and I guarantee you're not alone in this. Because this filling process, it's not what they tell you it is. It's not bubble baths and self-care days and reciting affirmations in the mirror. It's not another thing to do on your self-improvement checklist. In fact, it's the opposite. It's something far more profound, far more central to your being. Alan Watts had a perfect name for it. He called it finding your music, and I can already hear your mind spinning. That anxious part of the ego just lit up, didn't it? Music? What's my music? Is it a career, a passion, a startup? What if I don't have one? What if I'm too old to find it? Slow down, mate. Breathe. That's the old trying mind again. That's the transactional script jumping right back in, trying to turn this into another job, another goal, another mountain you have to climb to prove you're finally whole. Watts's idea of music isn't a goal. It's the exact opposite. Your music is your fundamental nature. It's the state you're in when you are 100% playing, not working. It's the thing you do where the doing is the entire point. The doing is the reward, not the money it might make, not the applause you might get, and especially not the partner it might attract. It could be gardening, it could be coding, it could be surfing or playing guitar badly or just getting lost in a deep conversation with a friend. It's any moment where that needy, chattering, "What do I get out of this voice in your head?" finally shuts up, and you are just there, fully absorbed. That's the state of play, that's your music. So, how do you find it? Here's the paradox that Watts loves so much. You don't. You don't find your music by searching for it, any more than you find your own breathing by hunting for it. You find it by stopping the noise, by getting out of your own way. This is the first actual tool. This is the Alan Watts applied part. Let's call it ego observation. The next time your mind starts its panic scream, "I'm so lonely. I have to find a partner. I have to figure out my passion right now." Here is what you do. Nothing. Don't fight the thought. Don't try to fix it. Don't bury it. And definitely don't replace it with some hollow positive affirmation. Just observe it. Step back inside your own head and watch that thought pattern spin. Say to yourself, "Ah, interesting. There's the mind. It's doing its needing trick again. It's playing the old scarcity tape." That's it. That simple, detached observation is the practice. In that moment, you are no longer in the panic. You are the awareness watching the panic. You've stopped being the striver, and you've become the space in which the striving happens. That's the first step. You stop adding fuel to the trying fire. The second technique is how you actually fill the cup, moment to moment. Now, this is where other channels will give you some beautiful, poetic, abstract metaphor. Just float like a cloud. Surrender to the river. Be the sky. It sounds lovely, but what does it mean? Here is the practical, no bullshit version. You fill your cup by engaging your full senses in the most boring, mundane task in front of you. I mean it. You're washing the dishes. Instead of being lost in your head, fantasizing about your future lover, or ruminating about your ex, I want you to be in your hands. Feel the actual temperature of the water. Smell the actual soap. Hear the sound of the plate. Feel your feet on the kitchen floor. That's it. That is filling your cup. You are not filling it with daydreams. You are not filling it with fantasy. You are filling it, finally, with reality. You are filling it with the present moment. And the present moment, as Watts taught, is always full. It is never lacking anything. You, in that moment, are 100% whole. There is no need when you are truly, completely washing the dishes. This is the work. It's not glamorous. It's not a weekend retreat. It's this. It's observing the noise. It's feeling the soap. And when you start actually practicing this, when you become genuinely absorbed in your own music, in your own reality, something profound happens. The desperation vanishes. That needy, hungry ghost energy that you've been carrying, it just dissolves. And that, mate, that is when real love finally has the space to appear, because real love doesn't arrive like a guest you've been desperately waiting for, staring at the door. It appears in the same way the sun appears in the morning. It was always there, but you were just facing the wrong direction. You were facing the idea of love, the fantasy of love, instead of the reality of your own life. When you're busy, when you are genuinely, truly, and deeply absorbed in your own music, even if that music is just the quiet sound of your own breathing, or the feeling of water on your hands, the desperation vanishes. The need has nothing to feed on. And this is the final absolution, mate. This is the permission slip you've been waiting your whole life for. You see? You were never half a person. You were never broken. You were never damaged goods. You were never a problem that had to be fixed before you were allowed to sit at the table. You were simply taught to believe you were. You were handed a broken, impossible script, that transactional nonsense, and you thought you were the one who was failing. You thought you were the one who couldn't get it right. The entire goal The whole point of this journey was never to get love. That's the transactional mind again. That's the empty cup logic. That's the hungry ghost, always looking for its next meal. The goal was to be love. Think of it this way. A lighthouse. A lighthouse doesn't run around the coastline, stressed out, needing to find ships to save. It doesn't worry if the ships like its light. It doesn't check its reflection to make sure it's a good enough lighthouse. It just stands. It is so full of its one purpose, which is simply to be a light, that it shines. And in the simple act of shining, it becomes the very thing the ships are looking for. It becomes a beacon, without any effort, without any need at all. That is you when you are full of your own music. You just shine. You become so full of your own life, your own presence, your own reality, that you have no choice but to share that overflow. You are already whole. You are already enough. So stop searching for the person. Stop the hunt. It's exhausting, and it's coming from the wrong place. Start building your music. Go wash those dishes. Feel the floor under your feet. Observe your own mind. Fall in love with the texture of your own reality. The rest will follow. That is the wisdom of Alan Watts. Now, if this reframe, this little shift from needing to being, if that helped you today, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's not for my ego. It's a signal. It just lets me know that we're on the right track together with this stuff. And look, if you know someone, maybe a mate, a friend, a family member, who is feeling a bit lost in that whole dating game, or just feeling not enough, maybe share this video with them. You don't even have to say anything, just send the link. You might just be giving them the permission they've been waiting for, to finally stop trying so hard. Thanks for sitting with me today, mate.